Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 593. And tonight we're talking with Ish from IQ Exotics. Owen believes that I don't like coastal carpets, so he decided that he's going to get Ish.
That is not what I said. That is not
show every 5 years.
Yes,
and he freaks out that somehow they're going to take over.
Exactly,
and he's going to have to breed poplins.
I am
even though
putting them back where they belong, which is second tier. Okay,
and I am catch that last
rejuvenate. I didn't notice that part. I'm choosing to ignore it. Fuck you. The idea.
The answer I was.
The idea is that I need to make you fall in love with coastal carpet pythons again, because
you don't have to do. You don't
no, I must.
You don't have
because
to.
No, we have a whole. Every time we have an episode where we talk about IJs or Papuans, you're like, you know what? I got the bug again. I really love it. I'm like, no, get back where you belong with all the other.
You misunderstood me. I got the bug for carpet pythons again.
Oh well, then I guess we'll just cancel the show. Well, since we have Hish here anyway, yes, no. So obviously, the guy I would think that I need to talk about coastals. Every once in a while, I need a coastal rejuvenation, and to be honest, he was the guy that a couple months ago kicked me firmly in the ass and told me to stop mecking around with all my other stuff and just get back to my coastals. So,
exactly.
Yes, and I got my coastal card back, so we're good. So obviously, when we're talking about coastals, you want to talk to Ish, because if you don't follow him already, do so. And you will absolutely love half the projects he's got going on. I say half just because every once in a while there's a random boa, but it's
or diamond
or diamond. I love diamonds, so it's probably more than half at this point. But he's got some killer stuff, and he is the guy that I would say is the pinnacle of I'm going to be picky about my animals, and these are the results.
So would you say he's the Andrew Paris of coastals?
I would say something like that. I would say I'd say he's got an idea of where he's going with the project, and he's like, nope, this one, and it pans out, and he's got all that stuff, and
I'm with you. Results don't lie, man.
They do not, man. They do not. So it's fun every once in a while when he's like, I think I'm going to grab one of yours, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, no, yeah, it's cool, yeah.
So what you're saying is, when Ish buys a coastal from you, you're legit.
I apparently, to be included. So
fair enough.
Of course, I have some from Ish as well. I have a red boy that I absolutely love, and I'm chomping at the bit to cross him to some red stuff I got going on. So every once in a while, I think if you have a coastal that is on a certain level, Ish is like, hey, we got to get you like a girl or a boy to go with her. Like, you got to pick, like, you have this and all your other stuff. Let's get you somebody up here. And that's what ended up happening with my red. So anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what we got going on tonight. We're just going to talk about coastals, and so
are we just going to jump right into it?
I think we should. I think we should just bring it on and just go.
All right. Welcome, Ish. Welcome back.
Hello. Thank you for having me back on.
Yeah.
I'm not anyone of can't compare myself to Andrew Paris. He's gonna send me hate mail. Definitely not him. Definitely picky, but it's for good reason. And honestly, that whole thing, like, well, this animal will go well with the coastal Tetris. I got that from Eric Hernandez.
Yes.
So, because I speak to him almost every day at this point. We're constantly bouncing like, hey, this animal with this one, and so that's where I think I picked up that little thing from. So
it works. Cool. And Eric Hernandez is another person that I would say is up there. And if Eric Hernandez is noticing your reds, you're at least on the right kind of path, I think. So I take it.
Yeah. So like, my room is small, so I have to be picky. There's so many things I want. There's things that I want, things that I will make space for, things that I have more space in the cold room right now, which I have inlands, which that's a different story. But yeah, no, they're so freaking cool though. Really cool. No, it's I got them from Gerard Bosch, so he made me the yeah. So he was trying to move that pair for a while, and they actually just cleared the quarantine, so now they're in the cold room. I'm just gonna treat them like my diamonds. So after listening to Michael Taylor talk about his inlands and his diamonds, it seems like it would make more sense to just treat them like diamonds here. So because it seems like the people who get them who get them earlier on are on the West Coast. So
That makes sense. I would do the same thing with that. So real quick, can you kind of just touch on some of the coastal projects you got going on?
So most of the coastal projects are all red projects. So this year we're at, sorry, this year is actually going to be the first year I'm doing tigers, but everything is either it's got at least MBB, so it's either MBB and Russian, so Madam Blueberry Russian, or MBB Lemke. So I used two of Eric's females that I have on breed loan last year, I'm sorry, 24 and 25. And 2024, I had some MBB Lemke stuff, and
Mhm.
then some MBB Russian from Qatar and Belmont, and then Gunther and Fuego. This 2025, I just got Gunther and Katara. That was a repeat pairing because Eric had did that years ago.
Mhm.
I did pair Belmont to Fuego, but she just slugged out. But that's an entirely, I had a feeling she would do that anyway. But
Yeah.
that's just when I went. And then basically the red jungle things that I created last year with a female that was already mixed. I did not mix her. I'm not doing that. But the damage is already done. So I kind of learned. Eric and I had learned some interesting information about that because all those babies came out red.
Okay.
So did they look like the red jungles from Will Bird?
I have not seen those. Shockingly,
Mhm.
I've tried digging around for it, and I keep finding like caramel jungles. So I was kind of going based off on that, but I would love to see like other red jungles, just so I
Don't
can actually.
worry.
Huh,
I'll go
okay.
to the archive. Go ahead, Owen.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's obviously the archive, so we can go
Yes.
through that. And I know that some people who maybe aren't familiar, MBB does stand for Madam Blueberry. I think you touched on that, which was a Will Leary animal. I tried pulling up my only picture of her that I had to show, but it is like this big, and when you blow it up, it's just a pixelated mess. So you can imagine there's a snake in there that people wanted at one point. And then also the M Pen, which stands for Michael Pennell, which is a person. So he's still out there.
Yes.
I hear tell. So that's cool. And I know that you've kind of got some different mixes and stuff with Eric Hernandez. Is like, and now are you getting to the point where how many collections of reds have you produced? Are you starting to raise up your own guys now too?
So I'm raising up my own guys. So basically, I have the 2024s from last year. There's I think one, two. There's probably like about there's actually four of them floating around because one of them
Okay.
went your way. So
Yes.
that's it. So yeah. This year, I only held one back from Gunther and Katara, so that's a straight up NBB.
Okay.
And right, so I have some NBB out crosses. So it's an NBB red jag male to a wild type female from Nick and Mutton. Those came out interesting, but they're giving me a little bit of a run for my money in terms of
Yeah.
like getting established. And I don't know, I have bad luck with the incubator. Um, and then basically this year, I have most of Red Exanthic stuff. So it's like
Okay.
I haven't really posted them. I posted one non-red, non-jag male just to see like, and he's still sitting on Morph Market, so I've just been holding off at this point.
Okay.
I don't want to start like putting all that stuff out, but most of those guys are there.
So
Go ahead.
with the Xanax stuff, red Xanax stuff, have you seen a notable difference between normal Xanax and red Xanax?
So with this collection, yes, but I should also say that these guys are out crosses, so I'm not expecting these reds to be as intense as like Eric's stuff that's like line bred, so it's like selectively bred. So the male that was used, Spectre, he's MVB Lemke, but I don't think he is a good example, but there's better examples floating
Okay.
around in the collection. So he wasn't actually supposed to be paired this season, but I just caught him pacing in the cage and cruising. Like, let's see what happens. And it worked because I wasn't planning on pairing them until this year. I was
Okay.
still trying to make pets. So this just worked out well. But
Okay.
it was just easy. You do have to wait for them to shed.
hmm
It's been holy crap. Like there's been times I'm like, is this what I? So I've like took pictures in the sun, pictures of like overcast, pictures in white light, sent them
hmm
to Eric, and Eric has kind of helped me feel better. Then there's one animal I was second guessing myself on, and she's ahead. So
Okay.
yeah, but it was not easy with these guys.
Yeah.
So
So with and this was a discussion I was having with Buddy Francis Pringle about red ghosts, because obviously, you know, a true ghost is a hypoexanic. With red being involved and being that red acts so much like caramel and hypo, would you even feel the need to add hypo in there to make like a red ghost, if you wanted to call it that way?
I don't know. Like, it's just, I believe Eric wanted to call them red ghosts, but I think like the whole thing was a confusion, like with what a ghost is. So we're just like red exantics, but I'm pretty sure he would want to call them red ghosts. It just seems a little shorter than like, oh, red exantic. But
Yeah.
the hyper stuff, I would call those guys like probably true ghosts
Yeah.
or like caramel ghosts. That's what my brain is like true red tail boas, like red, you know. So it's like that's just where I kind of look at that. But I'll kind of call those guys like true ghosts.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say that would be that, like true ghost, and then if you want to go caramel ghost and red ghost, or if you want to go caramel exanic and red exanic, I don't really know if you want to split how you want to split those
I don't
hairs.
know.
Yeah.
Red exantics. I don't want to confuse people because apparently there was I've seen people like using, oh, there's a red line. I'm like, no, not red line. Red line's a shipping company. These are red, but apparently, who is it? Philip Starkey, who
Yep.
I believe he had like a line of Darwin's that called red line. So I don't want them like getting confused with those guys.
Yeah.
They were
That's the other thing, too.
albinos that Ollie had. He had this he bred albinos back in the day. I don't think that they were pure. Maybe perhaps there was some red mixed in with it from
I mean,
some
it
other
makes sense if
subspecies or crosses or something, but he absolutely produced these things that were
red
like
albinos. Yeah.
yeah, they were wild looking. So he
They
called
didn't
them
look
red.
like you would think, like, you know, you've seen the pictures of those like albino bredli crosses where it's like fire engine red.
Bet
It
you I
didn't
have that
look
picture,
like
too.
that. And, you know, he's just going to play with his archive the whole time. But it
Well,
wasn't.
that's a
Oh,
red
there's
jungle.
a red jungle.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually really nice.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It did not look like that when it was a baby. It looked like a weird red cross.
So this was what he was calling the not incomplete dominant form.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
this was
That's
the
the super.
The super. Okay.
And, and then he had the one that actually produced them is actually kind of looks like a jungle. I think this is the one you're talking about, Owen.
This is the one that I saw at a table at Hamburg. Yep, that's it. And let it
Holy
just
crap, that looks like a freaking straight up like that looks like some sort of like jungle cross if you just when depending on where you're looking at this animal. But some people have some nice
Balin
jungle.
produced it.
Yep, Balin produced it, and then he sold it at a show. And I remember seeing Wilbert buy it because it was just a weird looking jungle. And then Wilbert bought it, and then he started cranking out these pictures, and I'm like, "Good idiot! Like, just let that just skate right by." Like that was a whole big project. So, yep.
It's some of the red like there was two non-jaguars in that clutch, and they kind of look like that. They look like straight up coasters when they hatched out, but as they got more pigmented, they kind of look like that. But now it's weird because you look at them, you can see the red and you can see the yellow.
Okay.
So it's the female actually has, I feel like she has a better pattern. Like she has coastal pattern. The male, I think his blacks are a little darker. He's got a little bit more of a jungle influence. But when you look at his yellow/reds, you can see both in there. But that's not an animal like I would probably ever use to throw back to reds because he's got a lot of black on him. So with the reds, like with the red stuff, I feel, and Eric and I have gone into a discussion with this, like you want lighter animals. Darker animals sometimes become, well, I don't want to say the wrong thing, but basically, like it works better with lighter animals. So because you're trying to make them a little lighter, because I feel like with reds they go through that phase where they get a little darker at around a year old, and it's like okay, now if they already have that black and they get darker, like how much of that's going to disappear as they get older? So that's kind of how I looked at it with those guys. But the Eric was actually saying because I sent a red jungle jag his way, and he said the same thing. Like you can see the yellow, you can see the red. It's gonna be interesting to see how they look in another year because these guys are about 18 months or so. Sorry, but keep me on track. So I'm gonna go all over the place with these
No,
reds
it's
because
perfect. It's perfect. I'm just gonna let you lose. I'm giving you
no,
enough line, and then I'm gonna reel you back in every once in a while. But
no, no,
sometimes I just
no.
want you to go. Yeah.
No, no. The red stuff. So, red stuff that I actually do have that I would like to. So there's actually some red stripes that I actually have. So I have two females from Eric. He sent me,
Okay.
and then I have the striped red from last year's clutch. That's actually a sibling to yours. And then I have a red MBB outcross from the wild type and MBB. And then Eric just sent me a baby from Pumpkin Spice and Lilith. Pumpkin Spice, I
Oh.
believe, was one of the. There was a picture of that animal sitting on a pumpkin somewhere on Eric's page. So I believe if that one's not on the if that one's not like made appearances, no, because Mr. March is the one who was on the calendar, and he's here too.
Okay.
So
Good.
so those guys, I would like to make them. I would like to make those guys as striped as possible, but the way I'm doing it, I don't want to add tiger blood to
Mhm.
that, just because I feel like the reds. So I have a Balin tiger male from Balin himself, and looking at him now, you can actually see like this animal hatched out as a red. It just has that look. I don't like, you look at the side saddles, you look at the like the tipping. They just
Mhm.
have that look. When you obsess over reds over a while, you can kind of pick these weird things up. So I do have another Balin tiger from Roy Stewart, and she doesn't look like that at all. So
Hmm.
and then there's a tiger from you, and she's obviously has no red in her. Well, I mean she didn't hatch out right because she does not have that look.
No, she
So, but
did
she's
not
pretty.
hatch out red, but I will say that I've mysteriously gotten reds from her mother that wasn't supposed to be there. So yeah, it was the following year. I'm just like, where did you come from? Well, I did also breed to a red tiger at one point, but that was no, never mind. I'm forgetting who the hell I bred it to that following year. A red tiger. So of course there were red tigers. I'm gonna stop talking and then go back. So
No, I almost consider like a dual. Like basically, I almost paired one male with Beetlejuice. Well, no, I did pair him with her, but there was like no interest. It was too early in the year.
yeah.
And then when I saw Spectre pacing, I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's just give you a shot. And he figured out, but they went later than I thought they would go.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
she didn't ovulate until like sometime in April, like early April.
Okay.
So,
That's a red.
Holy shit. Yeah, it's the
oh,
reds. Yeah.
That's a red
That's
albino.
the red albino.
holy shoot. Okay, huh?
I
I wasn't
Here's a
expecting that.
picture of the one. I
approve
got it.
of this. It's like it's
No, but it's like the thing is like I learned that they don't photograph. They don't always photograph well.
no.
I also learned that my camera on my phone sucks. So I feel like I can't get their true colors. That picture of the Jag that Eric got, he's once he sent it, I'm like, what the hell? Like, why can't I get pictures like that? So it doesn't. It also that animal had just shut out.
Yeah.
So, but those animals are almost like it's almost like a light. The non-exanthic stuff almost turned out like purple, but that guy looked a little blue, like in person, like the
Yeah.
side saddles. So
It's always good to catch them right when they shed with that kind of stuff. Because speaking of that red boy that I somehow swindled away from you, get him pulled up here. Eric, if you could toss that up there. There he
That one?
is. Yep,
Ooh,
that's
nice.
him. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
he's looking a lot like his dad.
And that's the thing is, it's like obviously you can tell I waited until he shed so I could take a picture of him. So, but it's this kind of animal that I dig, and I know what you're talking about with seeing in the side saddle. So you can see here along this kind of stuff with the striping and all the red coloration coming in. And I will say this base color has gotten a lot lighter as he's grown a little bit more since this picture. So
It's
yeah.
interesting because I almost thought I thought he was going to have a little bit more yellow on him than that. So he's looking more like dad than I would have even thought. So
That's awesome.
yeah, no, I'm not complaining.
I'm not either.
So
So it's cool with that stuff. Do you have any tips for people who might produce reds of what to look for of their like
okay.
this holdbacks?
Sure. Put it yes. So you always have to wait them out. So I feel like with some reds, because I've noticed that some of the reds I see floating around, like MBB stuff, you can tell who's put work into it and who has not. Because you can see the red there, but it's not as refined.
Right.
First things first, when they hatch, they're all going to be red. That's the easy one. But after they shed out, they're going to start looking a little lighter. If you have like non-reds in the clutch, it might throw you off a little bit. But if you stare at it, if you stare at it long enough, you're going to see it's a little lighter.
Right.
As they shed, as they keep shedding, you're going to see them get a little bit more lighter. That side pattern, after a while, kind of gets like a. I think you really should have just called these things like terracotta because they're not really red. So,
Right.
but you can see like that terracotta pop up. Now there's that color, that light base, that light tan base color, but then sometimes they have a yellowish color.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
almost look like I don't want to say because I feel like the hypos almost give me a like a lemony type of look to it.
Hmm.
But the red stuff, like this, just the yellow. But if you're not sure, if you're just looking at this on a table, someone will be like, "Oh, this is a caramel. Oh, this is." They're not going to think it's a red
Right.
because it's not really that red. It's not until you actually once those guys shed out, they feel like they need a little bit more sheds under their belt.
Hmm.
But same thing, you look at the side pattern, you see that yellow, but you stare at the side pattern long enough, you can see like a little kind of like that brick red, or well, not brick red, I'm sorry, terracotta, or sometimes a little bit lighter than that. But it's basically you're gonna see it more on the sides than on the body itself, and that's just what I usually look at, or that's what, well, at least that's how I learned to look at these guys. So,
Right.
um, but sometimes you have an animal that they sometimes shed and sometimes they get a little darker,
Hmm.
and I feel like that sometimes throws some people off. But they go through. I feel like they go through a little bit of a phase where they get a little bit more black, especially around the pattern, like right around the edges. But you kind of have to wait it out because after about let's say about a 2 year mark, like that's a lot. If whatever's gonna disappear is gonna disappear, but they're gonna be lighter. They usually don't stay that dark.
Okay.
I have a male from last year from Gunther and Fuegos. That's MBB Lemke. He was actually the lightest one in that clutch. Like he would have looked like a straight up caramel if you just had him on a table somewhere.
Hmm.
But he got pretty dark. Joan Fernandez was here a while back seeing the collection. He's like really local to me. And when I showed him that animal, he's like, "Oh, that's him." Like he just the look of just disappointment on his face. And it was also going to shed. But so the joke is that that animal's a little bit of a catfish. But
I
he's already like he'll get lighter. Belmont did the same thing. There's a male. There was an MBB Lemke male that basically got replaced with Mr. March Riot, who got sent to Ben Crumrine. He did like that animal did the same thing. He was pretty dark. I feel like he actually didn't like bloom until he went to Ben
okay.
because he it happens. And
Yeah.
that animal was like he was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
Um, and I felt bad about like letting that one go. 'Cause I had sentimental value. Eric's like, no, you have to do this. I'm like, all right, fine. You know, his
Yep.
brother's gonna get a shot this winter with
Is
Carmen San Diego.
I would say is the one that was kind of catfishing, is that Mr. March?
No. Mr. March, no, definitely not him. Mr. March is no, because he's on the
Eric,
calendar.
Eric, pull him
He
up.
made it onto
He's
the. I think it's a 2022 calendar, and
okay.
March. That's how he Eric. That's what it
Ah,
is.
okay, I get it
So
now.
that
Okay.
yeah, that's I don't think he was actually named, but I think like Eric just started calling him Mr. March and just kind of stuck. That animal
Okay.
went to Brendan Mayer. Then so then when he decided that he was gonna get out of Reds, of all things to get out of, I ended
I
up
already
snatching that pair from him.
I already got him
So
set up, Eric. You can just use I'm already sharing
Oh,
my
you got
screen.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's looking for it. It's
I am.
yeah.
Thanks.
Yep. That's Mr. March.
that's Mr. March.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
he's that I feel like that's again, I feel like he's an animal that isn't always photographed well.
Hmm.
But he's an animal that he's actually a really nice animal. Like in person, it almost looks like he got some purples. One thing I've noticed with these guys, they do fire up. At least
Yep.
the ones who do fire up, the lighter ones. So if you go in late at night or early in the morning, those side patterns almost look like purple. So,
Jesus.
especially with
Wow.
the tan colored guys, Katara still does the same thing. And Katara, she's like 14 at this point. So, uh, yeah, she'll have to go back to Eric at some point. I'll be sad when she does, but she's been a great animal. And I think she has more of a like traditional, like old school, like MBB look, at
Yeah.
least in my opinion.
Oh,
So
it's just like you were talking about with all the black and stuff around the pattern on his head, and then it kind of starts going away, and then maybe he's got like a black tipped scale here, and then a few here, and then after that it's just like around the pattern, but then they just get lost in kind of like the midsection tail pattern there too. So that's really cool.
yeah, I feel like the Lemke blood in there kind of like makes
It
them a little
helps.
lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really helps. Because like you have some Lemke stuff. I've seen some Lemke stuff floating around that's like it. You can tell it's Lemke, but it's
Hmm.
not as refined. So like people would just like breed those guys, and then like the next generation, like, they'll actually lighten up. And I feel like those guys, they get that really washed out purple look. There's an animal on, I believe it's on the coastal carpet python group. Like that one, like looking at that, you can tell that's a Lemke line animal. At
Okay.
least, at least I would assume that's a Lemke line animal. If like you just showing me an animal, I would take a guess at it
The
being
one at the
Lemke.
top. The one
Yes,
at the top. Yes,
yes.
that was
Oh,
mine.
Yes. Correct. Yeah.
Yes.
That is. Yeah.
so, but
Um,
there's something about it. It's, I don't know. I feel like those guys get a lot of blushing, but I feel like they, I feel like they just need I like their pattern. Their pattern is different, but I feel like they sometimes need a little bit of they need a little bit more refining. At least the ones I've had, the ones that I've seen. That's not, but the ones that I've seen they have not been for, other than the ones from MPen and stuff, but I've seen like other people with them floating around. So that's not a jab at anyone.
Yeah. It's funny because one of my first pairings was a Lemke coastal to this giant coastal I got out of a bin at a Havre Gray show, and I just sold them. There, you Jesus, yeah, that one's pretty. So,
not as
um,
pretty as the other one, though.
no, but it's just one of those where I didn't do anything with it, and I kind of wish I had. But one of my caramels, actually one of my super caramels at this point. Yeah, she's from that Lemke line. Animals.
So we talk about Lemke line,
Mhm.
at Carpet Fest, me and Michael Pinnell were having a conversation about that line.
Mhm.
And he was asking me if I had any M-Pen coastals.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, what?
Wait,
And
but
so he had sort of, I think from what I understand, from what he was saying to me, it's sort of like accidentally, not purposely, like moved into a different coastal project. So he was doing his reds and he was doing, I think he does like dark ones or something,
Mhm.
but he sort of like doesn't have that pure Lemke line, that look, and he was
Anymore.
saying that he like is so upset that he doesn't have that, and everybody's talking about M-Pen coastals. And I'm like, M-Pen over here. And I got no coastals that look like that.
I get what you're talking about because that's exactly what I was saying. Like some of them, it's like they're a little darker, the ones
Yep.
that are floating
Yep.
around. So I
Yep.
have some from Paul Mobile, and his like you can see the pattern there, but they're just a few shades darker.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but at least they're not gone. You can refine
No,
that.
it's the other thing is that I think everybody took them and threw them at tigers
Jags.
and jags and mixed it. Like I have one tiger here. He's going to get to go. He is a mix of all the tiger and stripe lines. He is a Russian Balin Peterson, and I'm like, they're all in there. Like that's what he is. But I think a lot of the color that you see in some of the tiger stuff can be attributed to M-Pen coastals. And then I know Balin went one way with the Red Project, crossing a lot of his stuff to that one red tri-stripe he had. And I think that pops up all over the place depending on what people had, because I think a lot of people were like, this is a stripe and it's a tiger, and this is a stripe and it's a tiger. And then I will put them together, not knowing that this was an M-Pen tiger and this was a red tiger from Balin or something like that just didn't have fantastic reds. So I think everything's kind of spread out that way.
Yeah, that's another reason why I didn't want to mix those striped guys with any of the tiger lines because I want to see
Mhm.
how much of that refines without any of that, and I don't want them to lose that color.
Yeah.
So, um, again, it's like you can do that and then backbreed, but I don't have time for that. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't have the time or the space for that because that
Right.
requires a lot of things to go. It's like space is always at a premium. Like I
Yeah.
have bullets upstairs because I don't. Well, number one, I don't want them in a room, but number two, it's like I just don't have space for them.
Yeah.
My female just moved to 3 foot cages, and I'm kind of those cages down here are maxed out with like I have grow up stuff in there, so no, I don't want to take. I don't want to bring them down here.
Yeah.
But
And
space
to
out of
go.
premium, so that's why it's like you have to be a little picky. At least that's why I was being a little picky.
Mhm.
I would probably have no jungles if it wasn't for my partner. He really likes freaking jungles, and that's why I still have a pair here. But he likes the reds more. But the jungles, I was asked to not move them. I'm like, all right, so I have a holdback. So I have a holdback from last year. That is just a holdback by default because I wanted that one out and it got named, so now it has to stay here.
Yeah,
And then I
that's
have
how
a
that
female
happens.
from so now and then I have the female, the 2021 from Brandon Wheeler. And I think that one is she's what the heck was it? I think it's Alcatraz and Juicy, and I don't remember which one of those were from Andrew Paris. I feel like the male
Mm.
might have been from Andrew Paris. It was one of them. It's a
Okay.
50-50 shot.
Did when you when you're doing the red tigers, the MBB red with the Russian red, that's been done, right? Eric's done that,
That's
right?
been done.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
been done.
What
Oh
are,
yeah.
what do those babies look like? Do
Fine.
There's a baby floating around there, like Owens, basically. Owens is 25% Russian blood. So, but there's a male, his dad, Belmont. Basically, he's like 50-50. Carmen San Diego is another one. Got her from Brennan Mayer. And same thing. She has a little bit more yellow on her. If it would be interesting to see how those babies come out because there's a suspicion that she might be a super.
Mhm.
So she's a lot light. She's a little lighter than her brother, and her brother's pretty light. So, and I don't think her brother is
You mean
a
super red or
super
super?
red. Super red.
Okay.
When I say super, definitely for this case, like super red. So because we know who is it? His dad Gunther is super red because well, at least what we're calling super red because
Yeah, I
he
was going to ask
started
you,
two
what is
clutches
that?
with non-red animals, and all of them
Oh,
came out red.
All of them came out red. Yeah, I'd
All
say
of them came out red.
that's pretty
hmm.
super.
Do
It,
they? Well, here's the question: do they hatch out red like an IJ and then develop normally,
Not
or do they
I.
develop
They
like a
look like red coastals, like
Mhm.
regular red coastals. They look like a light red coastal, but right after that first shed, I should say that first shed is when they look like really bright like coastals. But then after each shed after that, that they'll get a little lighter, but that red is not as intense. At least
Gotcha.
that's what's been noticed here.
Okay.
Um, when you look at them, like I guess if someone walks by it really quickly, it's a tan colored animal. That's not that big of a deal. But if you see it, if you put that animal, for example, I actually have a Russian outcross that's not red. If you put that animal next to her, I'm like, oh wait, this animal is red, but it's very subtle. I'm not expecting these MBBs outcross to be like something like outstandingly like not bright red, but
Right.
it's a good direction to take them in because you do
Sure.
need some fresh blood every once, especially with our fine ice gene pool. You do need some fresh
yes,
blood every
fresh
once in a
blood.
while. I don't want to get a guy who has eyeless reds hatching out like a few generations from now. I'll feel
Right.
pretty shitty about that.
Yeah.
So, but it was also just helping to answer that question, like okay, because listening. So I was actually listening to the archives. I was listening to Ben Moreau's episode on the first Carpet Python World Book, the World Tour.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
And he was talking about how they're being incomplete dominant, and then is for a while they thought it was polygenic, but there's something we're not quite getting. I don't know. There's just so variable. There's something I don't. It's almost like what is it? What's that gene ball python? Oh, yeah, like yellow belly, where it's like it seems like really subtle, but then when you throw it
Oh, I
to
gotcha.
something else and you get something totally different. So it's something. We're collecting some sheds. We're hoping to send them out to Ben Murrow and see what. just answer that question once for all. But they do behave like an incomplete dominant. But there's just seems like there's something else with that because you'll have some that hatch out and they're okay. Like, all right, yeah, cool. This is a decent red, but then you have another one the same color, like really bright. And I guess same thing happens with caramels, but I'm not qualified to talk about that because I don't deal with them. But I feel like they just, I don't know if it's a carpet python thing, just being variable, or if the red it's because of the red.
Yeah, that's the tough
Or-
part,
I-
right? Is it
I-
from the carpet python just being that way, or is it coastals being that way? Is it
I think it's those three genes. I think you can have an ugly hypo and a really killer hypo, and then you can have a really killer red, and you can have low expression. I have a caramel female, and that was the Lemke line female I was talking about. She's got a ton of black on her, but her mother looked the same way, and she threw really reduced pattern caramel jags and other super caramels. So sometimes it's the right boy, and
this is why I like lineage charts, right? Because when you're looking at a lineage chart, you can see I put this parent with this parent, and this is what the babies look like, and their parents and their parents. You know what I mean? And you start to see like little traits that may pop out between the two. I think that I mean, I don't know. You tell me, Ish. Is it a matter of like you guys are being very selective with what you're pairing it with? And I think that speaks to your results. I think that a lot of times people will just randomly put snake with snake, coastal with coastal, and
Yeah.
turns normal coastals, right?
Yeah. I feel like with the reds, they do require a little bit of TLC in terms of like just refinements. I feel like you can it's easier to get a nice hypo and a nice caramel, especially. I feel like I'm a little more, I like the hypos, but I'm a little more partial to caramels of those guys. But I feel like it's easier to get a nice looking caramel than it would be, it's just like, that's like easy mode.
two generations you can get
two-
a really
yeah,
nice
exactly.
caramel.
So I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
So with the reds, I feel like you just need they do require a little bit more refinement, in my opinion. Fortunately, Eric has done most of that work for me. That's why I have, because most of these guys, all but like three of them are from him.
Right.
So those guys are either animals I got from him or animals on breed loan from him. So I think like just the lineage charts are nice, but I feel like after a while, like how much can you like fit on that, or how far back do you want to go?
Yeah.
I'm currently asking myself this question because I have to sit down and actually start making lineage charts. But then it's like, okay, where do I want to start? Like, do I want to take all this information and just make? Because the reason why I don't want to, I'm hesitant to put all this information in is because like all these pictures after a while, kind of like what Aaron Owen was saying, is like it's going to be pixelated. So it's like how much of that can you actually see? So and then it's like you're gonna have like pages and pages of lineage charts, and like also like aside from being a lot of paper, like who wants that? So I'm kind of like asking myself like, all right, do I want to do up to like great grandparents or But I feel like with MDB stuff, like especially with the like to have any sort of credibility, they have to be traced back to her. So it's like.
Yeah.
So how many gens is that now? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't see a lot of. I don't know. I look at a lot of lineage charts. I don't think there's that many generations of carpets that would require pages and pages. I mean, maybe 20 years from now.
Yeah, I mean, but I also
that's
say
somebody else's problem. I won't be around.
And it's also one of those things where certain charts are longer than others because of how far back it goes and how you could run. I would say, if you can get as far back as MBB and start it there, that's fine. I know there are charts that explore MBB's lineage and go back further, and that's fine if they want to get those, but I don't need to do that. I'm doing it from here, which is the important animal. So,
Yeah, I feel like people ask, I think 2 generations back, like great grandparents, parents, baby. I feel like that was like, okay. Also, it's like bigger picture, people easily, because after a while, again, like how much of that are you gonna be able, like people to be looking under a micro with a magnifying glass and like.
It's like old newspapers at the library. It's like gonna have to do microfilm and be like, I think that's a snake in this area.
Who knows? Maybe AI will be able to recreate
it, just rebuild it.
They do it with people, right?
It's
Just
like
push the
that.
button.
I bet you they had that in mind when they designed the programs.
I'm
that
sure
were
they
gonna, like,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
I cringe. AI has been great, but I cringe at the AI's like quick side tangent because I at work, so licensed vet tech, and I can tell when someone's been looking stuff up and they're going by what AI is telling them. I'm like,
It's the new
no,
Google.
Stop.
yeah,
Stop.
exactly.
Yeah.
How many times has this happened with coastals? They grow to be 11 feet. No, I
No.
Yeah.
mean, maybe if you feed them rabbits, but like Qatar's the oldest one here. She's like maybe 6.5 feet. Like
Yeah.
they're not massive. I think they're also not like southern coastals like those guys.
Right.
It's probably
They're
freaking
massive.
top. Whatever. They're massive. They're
Yeah.
gorgeous. The one
Yes.
with the pumpkin, it's like holy crap. Like I would just take the snake and leave the candy. So there's one floating around there. Oh man, it's like striped. So I'm like, but
Yep.
oh well.
All that different stuff. More space, more rooms, more things. So it just kind of goes and plays into that.
I'm curious. I have my thoughts, but I'm curious, like ultimately, where do you see the red? Like, what's the goal of the like? What do you see down the line? What do you hope to get with it? Do you hope that they
I would
retain
like to see
color?
them. I would no. I would. I think with more lines being added, because I think the different lines are actually complementing one another. Like the
Yeah.
Lemke, MBB. I actually just found out. I almost embarrassed. I found out that Snow and MBB are basically the same animal, same line. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
yo, stop. But I feel like but also two things like you have different looks, but also you're gonna have to cross them at one point. Is how much of that they're eventually gonna be as inbred as not nice. So I feel like eventually it's like, but also like I don't know, different. It's hard to tell what it is because like different people like different stuff.
Yeah.
I had someone tell me they were asking me about jungles, and when I showed them, I don't have jungles, but I have coastals. They told me they flat out said I don't like that look, which is like,
Oh man.
All right. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Cool.
it's
Yeah.
okay. I'm like, whatever.
They'll take the
Yeah.
full air right out of my balloon, but yeah. All right.
Well, no, I had that. It's that's the second one. I had someone ask me if I still had gamma stuff. I'm like, I never. I had
Never.
gamma. I had one gamma. What is it? They call it a SIB, which drives me nuts. I had one of those for a
Yeah.
few months, and like, no. But in terms of what it should look like, I don't know. It's. I would like to now that I have some strike stuff going. I
Mhm.
definitely want to refine that. But who is it? Eric has some nice banded stuff. I think Scott Borden, if he still has those reds, he had a really nice banded red. I
Yeah.
don't know the background of that animal, but I
I think it
believe
was a Balin bandit because Balin always had some really nice banded reds.
because
So
those bands are nice. Like it's
yeah.
like I get why people like bands. I'm more of a striped guy, but a nicely banded animal is like it will always stop you. I'm like,
Yep.
okay,
I'm
I get
I'm
it.
excited this year because I'm going to take a Luke Snell red tiger jag I got from a friend of mine who's happens to be that guy, and I'm going to cross him with
Smiley
a
V.
I'm going to cross him with an MBB red tiger. So
Okay.
that will be a good pair. I want to see how that turns out. So
I just had an option open because I had. I'm glad I caught it, but it's before I started feeding him medium rat, so I'm all right with it.
yeah.
But I didn't
Oh
want to break him.
no.
No. He's on small. He's going to stay on smalls now. This is actually the guy I got from Carpet Fest.
Okay.
He's just shut out, and I'm looking at it like, wait, those are freaking cast. Like, damn. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Like now I've been convinced to throw her to the tiger stuff.
Yep.
So him to the tiger stuff, I'm still debating that, but I'm like, okay, at least this is an option. But it actually works out well because I would have needed a male jag for later
Okay.
on. So no, this is what happens this is also why when I started getting all these reds years ago, I got multiples because you plan for this sort of thing and you have a backup. So
Yep.
it's not I don't want to be put in a situation like, oh crap, well, what am I gonna do now? No.
Yep.
So there's option A. Okay, if option A doesn't work, then there's option B, C, and D.
Yes.
So
That was
um
that was last year because I had a red tiger jag that I was going to pair to this male last year,
Mhm.
but they became very friendly and just kind of hung out because they're both males. So it was I'm like crap. So and the red tiger jag that I was going to pair him with is all the way back from my original Ted Thompson lesser tiger to that red jag I got from Balin, whose father was that red tri-stripe thing. So this is like immediate Balin Red stuff before it was Balin Red stuff line that I was going to try to cross in. But now I have 2 boys. So I got like, yeah. So, yes, that's where we're at. So
Nice.
We'll talk later because I might eventually have to start outsourcing stuff.
I'm always available. Like, I'm
Like,
always available. I'm always outsourcing my own shit.
Yes.
So this
I'm
year,
gonna pull. I'm gonna pull. It's. I mean, Eric did that to me. I did that to Brian. I felt bad. Okay, so
it's
that never
sharing
really
the
let us
wealth,
off. But
Yeah.
yeah, but also it's like I'm at that point. It's like, well, I don't want to move stuff. So I don't want stuff to disappear.
right. I've done that.
So and
I've done that.
Yeah.
Like,
it's yeah, and I've already had. And I recently just fairly recently had Red Jag like disappear. Not just like somebody got her and then just like moved her on like literally like a couple of months after that, and I don't know where that animal went. And I'm like,
uh,
so yeah, and it bugs me because like, well, I produced that animal. I can't. Like you can't control what happens after the fact. I was like, well, the animal's probably fine, but okay, whatever.
yeah.
Or not whatever, but it's like crap. Like that was a nice animal. So.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes people come out of the woodworks with shit, and you're like, "I remember this," and then you're like, "You can get it back. Like you can snag it back." But
Oh no, I don't want it back. I just want to know where it went.
where it went, I don't want it. I just want to know where it is. Like
Yeah.
Eric thinks I gave him a pair of rough scale pythons. I know where those are. Like I did that on purpose. Yep.
They're those are nice. I feel like that's an animal you have to have like you have to see in person or have it in your hands like truly appreciate them.
Whenever.
So
Just come here.
like,
It's fine. You know,
that's how I feel about the inlands, and that's how I got suckered into inlands and now. But because you see them in person, they're freaking blue.
yeah.
Yeah.
You got suckered into it. They tricked me. Like I don't. Yeah.
So the one coastal that I got from Eric, that's just a regular coastal, is comes from that I hope to recreate the look is the Roku. That animal.
Ah, yes. Ah,
That's the red. Although it's not necessarily what red.
that was the
per se,
base
but-
red. Like that's what they used to be. Like yeah.
But I just love how it's so light colored. You know what I mean? To me, that's like what makes the red thing awesome as
I
they age.
believe he is Fuego's sire. I believe that's Fuego's dad.
Cool.
Fuego is the Lemke, the MBB Lemke. That holy crap, that animal's as sketchy as like gas station sushi. Eric warned me about her. She's just like she's not outwardly aggressive, but you can have her in your arm. Basically, she does the Woma thing where she's fine on your arm and then she just opens up, but her head, like it's gonna hurt more than it tickles. She's been okay, but also she just does not turn off in terms of food. Like it's very like it's and having an animal like that, like she's actually gotten the side of my genes once when she was in quarantine, and that's how she ended up with that name. So it's fire, Spanish word for fire. So she's just always coming in hot. So, but she looks just like I have to double check with Eric. But I'm pretty sure that's the dad because she has that same look.
Oh,
So
okay.
she just probably she's got that same color.
And that's-
She's sitting out this year. I only have that one pairing this year. There's something I haven't been moving my animals this year, and I don't know what it is, but that one's nice. Huh?
That's Azula. Yeah.
Yes.
That was the parents of the one that I got. That was
Okay, so it's probably Roku and Azula.
Yep.
So, okay.
And she looks pretty much like that. I haven't bred her, but I've had her forever.
You have a red. Stop. Hold on.
That pattern is really nice.
I have that.
You have a red
An
coastal
animal?
female you're not doing anything with, and you've hid her from me.
Yeah, you looked at her a million
Jesus
times. You
fucking
never
Christ.
cared
Like, I
about
don't
her.
understand what the hell am
She
I
looks
doing?
just like this snake right there.
All right.
Azula.
What cage number? And I'll be over later. So
I thought about adding, I was doing the Balin red,
Mhm.
right? That's probably so to me.
That's where Molly came from. Molly. Well, Molly was no. I'm sorry. Molly
No.
was Snell red. I apologize.
No, Molly was
No?
Jason red.
Yeah, but
But-
mixed in with like his V was Snell red.
No, Molly was Jason's. You know the
Right,
crazy
but
albino red thing that he
I'm
had.
talking about the second one, like because you have Molly 2.0. That was from Balin
Oh,
Red mixed
yeah.
with Snell Red. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that was
Yeah.
V, and yeah. But
I
I
know
had
it.
that, that crazy looking thing that's like, oh shit, the crazy looking red
fans?
that stayed red as an adult. That's like,
I love how we're saying red, and I know Nipper is probably screaming
I
his
was
head
waiting
off
for
right
how long
now
you were gonna say.
because like I'm just like he's like they're all none of these are red. It's like okay, yeah. So, but
Didn't make up the name, have to call it that though. So
exactly,
I
yeah.
get trolled. Every once in a while, there's someone who trolls me on the Facebook groups over that. Like, that's not red. I'm like, I didn't make.
I didn't
I didn't.
do it.
It's
I'm
Not
not
my
the
name.
one. I didn't do it. Other people did. People before me, and then I'm forced to adhere to their rules. So, yep.
That's so pretty. Whatever.
I know.
So,
It's all good.
but
Shit.
yeah, that was nice. Why are you not breeding that one?
Well, I thought, like I said, I was going to show you the picture real quick of the Balin red, but yeah, I was going to put her. So, well, here's a,
Freaking throw the Russian tiger to it at this point. Just do it. Like,
Actually,
you want me to put the Russian
would.
tiger to
yeah,
it?
I want you to put him to anything that is a coastal red of some kind. Like it's
Here's a picture of her when she was younger.
he's right there.
Yeah, I guess you're right, Owen. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'll
That's an
decide. I'll
animal.
decide.
I'm gonna have like 3 clutches of red coastals.
I'll
this
decide
year.
your coastal projects from now on.
That's
Okay,
not
just
that's not a bad thing
yeah.
though.
That
Yeah.
was that was wrong. Damn.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's
That's
her
you
as a
can
baby.
actually see. I've noticed you can actually see the Russian, like the pattern. There's something about
Yeah.
it, like the outside pattern. You can kind of tell. Who is? I'm going to butcher his last name. Tony Dor. Dor. The
Yeah.
basically the. So okay, that
Close
that
enough.
one actually. Yeah, that animal you can like you looking at the fish on the side. You can also see like the Russian pattern. Apparently, like there's a splash of Russian in there. So if I have my information correct, but
There's Russian
there
in
needs to be
where?
more.
In this animal?
And Tony, and no, and Tony's
Oh.
animal.
Tony's.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
Tony's
Yeah.
implement, but there needs to be more Russians floating around. So
Yep. Well,
there really needs to be more Russian because that it seems like that just like all got absorbed into everything else, and then the original pair went
Yeah.
kaput, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
that's why there should be multiples when you can.
Yeah.
I have a female that's sitting around that she's supposed to be a Russian. She's not from Eric Hernandez, but I can't call her a Russian because apparently the male that sired her, there's no way to trace it back, and it's not the owner's fault. It's the person he got the animal from who didn't have the like. There's so it's like, but if you look at her, she definitely has. She has that Russian look. There's another Russian outcrossing in the collection that's not red, but she has that fishnetting pattern. She's just not red. So
Yeah.
there's something about I don't know. It sucks. But hopefully more can be made this season.
There he
Yeah.
is. So
Yeah. Ooh.
yeah,
oh, that's the boy.
that's the boy. Yeah.
Oh, I got
I only have
Oh,
access
yeah.
to the male picture. I only have pictures of the boy because he was the one that was mine. Eric sent me pictures of the girl. They're somewhere on my computer, but I'm pretty sure they're just labeled as Russian question mark. That's
Ooh.
the one.
That's
girl.
the red from Balin.
Yeah.
that
Oh God.
still
Yes.
looks
You can
like
see the
this.
difference in that
Yes.
one.
I remember that one. Yes.
And that is going to go to Molly, and I guess that's now going to go to she doesn't have a name.
No, just don't. That one can go to Molly. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Either one. But
It's funny how that red gets with that peppering on the side that you see on some of the tigers.
I think that comes from
over.
well, I'll tell
I
you.
got it. Hang on.
It comes from the male that he used. It's very
Yeah.
peppery. I have these tigers that I call pepper tigers that have that fishnet look that
Okay.
I'm going to breed and try to reproduce, and then cross that into reds. See what happens.
Fair
with
enough.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, because the male I have from Balin himself, like that guy, that animal's a freaking jerk as well. I don't know. I think some of these guys are just a-holes, but you look at him, he's got that peppery back. It's a lot of people just really like that look. So I get why, because
Yeah.
There's no really wrong way to enjoy one of those animals. Like the tigers are all same to reds. There's no such, all reds are awesome. Ooh.
I got him
Um,
pulled. I got him pulled up, Eric.
Oh,
There
yeah,
he is.
that.
So that was Balin's original red tri-stripe. It was not related to anything as far as tiger, and that was the basis of a lot of his red tiger jags because he crossed that with Willery jags, and that was the basis of his tiger projects because he bred it with. I don't know if I can.
when we say Willy Jags, are we talking about like Madame Blueberry Benjamin? Like,
Yep.
Willie? Okay.
Yep. So that was all integrated into that. But the
Sure.
original red tigers were this male, and then there she is. And this was his original female. So
yeah.
that was the basis of all the red tigers. And that was how that stuff kind of did that. But this is what tigers used to look like. Like no yellow. It was just kind of this khaki color.
Okay, that was the other thing I was always curious about. So I know that those both colors are floating around, but it's like which one was the original? And I always thought the khaki was the original, but it seems like the yellow was or am I still getting? I hope I'm getting that mixed up again.
It was the khaki and the
Khakis,
white.
yeah,
Was like a bone white. That was the original colors. But then people crossed them with Hycons to get yellow and M pens to get yellow, and then that's how it kind of all got mixed in there. So
that makes more sense.
This was an animal that male produced. You can see that fishnet
and the kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my red. That's the girl that actually produced the Pepper Tigers.
Eric and I bought, like, between the two of us,
all
the entire clutch over the years. Yeah. Like we each had like 6 of them at one point. So
Tigers were so nice too. Like, but seeing those, you can't appreciate them until you see them in person because that thing at the Carpet Fest is like purple on the sides.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
What the hell? So
yeah.
I'm cheating.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit.
Did I ever show you my red zebra I produced?
I feel like there's an animal that I might have seen floating around on like pictures like Facebook, but if I see it, I might actually recognize it. It's on the glass on your like black background with a glass.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I might have seen it floating around. Somebody asked me if it was Michael Taylor asked me if I had it. Yep. He asked me if I had red zebras. I'm like, no, I don't. The jungles I have were not zebra. That's actually really nice.
Is that a red zebra or a red zebra jag?
No, that's a red zebra. That was zebras, not anything.
Okay, I can see why.
Because I had the one zebra that I produced that is from that red zebra jag to a jungle, and it doesn't look correct. Like, it doesn't look like it's a zebra. Like, it's the color on it isn't yellow, but it's not red either. Like, it's some sort of weird burnt orange, and that's just what it looks like. But there's also a ton of black. So,
this thing didn't have any black on it, and its eyes were weird. And then it died. So,
okay, that answers that question. I was going to ask what
yeah.
Like, let's see how it progressed. Oh, well, never mind.
Womp,
Womp.
That's why, like, with these guys, I was trying to keep at least 2.2 just in case. So things happen. But at this point, it's like, that part is like, okay, well, there's other. I'd rather have I have enough reds floating around enough male reds floating around that's not an issue.
Yep.
But then female wise, like, that's different. Like, that's why usually when I get females from Eric, it's usually like 2 females. He just sent me 3 animals, and it's like I need to take pictures of them because that was actually a trade. Well, not a trade, but we just like I sent him. Well, I guess by definition it's a trade, but I was just sending him stuff because making those red exanthics, I wasn't gonna not send him one because that was like his project, and like that would have I couldn't do that. He's a friend, so that red jag, and I actually sent him another one that one just would not feed. I have a feeling it's going to be a plane ride baby.
Oh.
because it was looking. Yeah, I have a gut feeling it's gonna be a plain ride baby, but it has the right attitude. It just didn't want to eat, and I was the only one out of 17 that would just. I tried quail, tried chick down, tried hoppers, tried fuzzies, tried a no juice to have the Puerto Rican boas. Just didn't want to. Tried chicken gizzards.
Mhm.
It was just being stubborn, but it was in Amber's position, but just decided that, and I didn't. I should have actually like assist fed it, but I feel like sometimes that's does more harm than good. So,
Right.
because if he's acting okay, he's normal. He doesn't smaller, but doesn't look thin. I'm like, all right, you can sit around if you're okay. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and you can
but
wait.
yeah, so it's not the end
Uh,
of the world.
Another thing I know we talked about kind of like red Xanax stuff for a little bit, but you're also doing just straight Xanax Jags?
No, so that clutch yielded some straight. Basically, mom is an Xanthic Jag. That's Beetlejuice. She's from Star Python. She has no red in her. She's no red in her whatsoever. So some
Mm-hmm.
of those babies actually hatched out as non-red Xanthic Jags. So that clutch was pretty male heavy and very Jag heavy.
Okay.
To add more to the Jag dumpster fire waiting to happen on one of the Facebook groups. Um,
I saw that today where it was like, why do they
I
keep
was like,
putting Jags? I'm like, ah, crap. Like,
yeah, I was like, oh, it was like literally like right after, like, oh shit. I'm
shit.
like, and then I saw like, oh wait, okay, like there's three of us who posted Jack. Like, okay, cool. I don't feel singled out here. Yeah,
I'm not
but
alone. I'm still good.
yeah,
Like,
I didn't need. I'm just at this point. I'm working with what I have. Like, yeah, I
right.
would like to have less Jags, but also that Axanthic Jag was she also MI'd that clutch.
Oh, all right.
So I'm
Okay.
like, okay, cool. Like, I don't like. She's fine.
Yeah.
She actually did better than my wild type. So, because she, yeah, like I don't know if it's an age. There was like a year difference between the two, but I thought maybe it was that. But that is something I would potentially start looking to refine as, well, not refine, but like select for
Mhm.
as breeding seasons progress because I really prefer maternal incubation.
Okay.
I feel like I've had way more success with that. The babies hatch out so much more robust. I've not had everything hatches, but it hatches out small when it's
Okay.
artificially incubated, and it gives me a little bit of a run for my money, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the roll of the dice, but anything that's hatched out MI's been like they they're not always nice, but
Yeah.
they always start out well, and they're
I
a
want
little
to say,
bigger.
the girl you got from me is actually from my one soul MI clutch that I
No
allowed
way.
to have happen. Yeah, I want to say that's how that worked out. I have to double check, but that's her mom. Like, and it would have been like a tiger clutch, whatever. Go
Wow.
ahead, keep them.
Yeah, she's fine. Like
Yeah.
usually, I don't really handle these guys. Like almost treat them like fish. Like I just look at them. I don't need to handle them. Like I don't need to socialize with them. And she's not like usually when I do maintenance in the cage or whatever. Like she's
Mhm.
just on her perch. Like I'll just tap her on the nose with the hook, and she's been fine. I have some that need more than one tap, but she's never actually taken a swipe. Actually, yeah, she took a swipe at me when she was younger, but she was small and she was allowed to. So
Yeah.
they're snakes. They're allowed to be snakes.
Yep.
It's like,
I would say her mother swiped every time, and her half sister is slowly becoming that way of swiping every time. So, eh,
yeah, I have
whatever.
a
I can
baby.
get bit. Like, it's fine. You can hurt me, just don't hurt each other. Like, that's all I can
Oh, that
say.
was. I had a pair. There's a pair like that. Oh, there's a female like that here. I'm like, please don't take a swipe. Don't
Don't hurt
swipe.
her.
Wait. Like,
Yeah.
'cause apparently she does not turn off from food, and so the way she was positioned in the room is like, I want no movement, like not so much movement by her cage, because that just sets her off, and she'll get whatever's near her, whether it's
Yep.
your leg or hopefully, like hopefully not another animal, because that would suck. But
Yes.
she's done it before, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of hoping to avoid. Because usually I would pair. Like, when do you normally intro? Because I normally would pair and then go into winter. But this year I'm gonna have everybody winter separate and then pair in like February.
So I'm actually looking at the same thing this year, because that pair is actually first. Both of them are first timers.
Hmm.
So the way I've done it in the past, like I've paired. Well, when my furnace broke down, everyone got paired in end of November. They just wintered that way.
Yeah.
But last year, I maybe started. It was weird. It was because I feel like I didn't start pairing to like the middle of December. because we were having that weird weather spell.
Yeah.
And then I felt like I didn't think I was going to get anything from Katara, and she gave me a nice clutch. So for a moment, I was like, she's not going to do anything. And when I offered her food, I'm like, maybe she is gravid, and she actually started doing her thing after that. But I'll start pairing. I'm actually probably going to wait. I'm honestly thinking of doing it like late December, or like right around Christmas, if not January.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Me
just
too.
because
Yep.
I don't know. It depends. Honestly, it's going to really depend on what the weather does up here. So they're talking about getting first glass of December weather next week. Like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll believe it when I see it. Um,
Yeah, it's supposed to be like
whatever.
30 next week for us, I think.
Oh, wonderful. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, the animals definitely know that there's a change. Like, I do see behavior changes in the males.
Right.
I'm really, really, really hoping that I get diamonds this year. Well, let's just say next year.
That'd be nice.
Yes, but basically, I just like once I let the weather do its thing. Once I start seeing, I watch the males. If I start seeing that they're cruising, like okay, like there's someone probably cycling, then I might just chuck them. But otherwise, I might just wait until like end of December. We'll see.
Yeah, I
There's one.
kind of pushed everything back to where I would be pairing in November. Now I'm pairing at Christmas
Yeah.
instead of Thanksgiving.
It makes sense because we've had how many times have we had in the Northeast how we had like abnormally warm Novembers.
The
Like,
fake
okay, well,
winter.
this isn't
Yeah.
gonna work. Yeah, exactly. And like that's when I leave my window open in the room and I'm trying to get the room a little cooler and it's like, whatever. And if that's happens long enough, I see everyone in ambush position. I'm like, all right, well,
Clearly, I'm not doing not.
Do you
not
have
enough.
a target temperature you shoot for when you're opening the window?
honestly, I aim for 70, but I would prefer it to be a little bit colder.
Okay.
So if I can get the room down to, I've noticed that I've had the best success when the room's at 68, 66, 68. They're fine, but I should always emphasize that as long this is cold, but as long as it's not drafty, then you're fine. Because like I feel like if you have something going on, like it's probably going to manifest if it gets that cold. If you have something floating around in the collection, at least that's what my vet tech brain is making me believe.
Right.
But I will try to get it to 70, but at least 70. But if it gets even lower, then even better. I feel like these guys can actually handle way colder temps than what we give them credit for.
Yeah.
It doesn't take them much to get going. I get it, but I feel like I like to cheat and just like make sure it's like nice and cold and snowy weather would be great because then it's like okay, cool, like this is just easy, just put boy in with girl and just shut the
And
door
then
and
off,
like,
and there you go.
that's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Jingle bells.
but yeah, no warmer than 70.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was always a weird thing for people, at least for me. I say it all the time. It's like, 70 degrees. That's too cold.
It's too
And you're
much.
like, wait, what?
Yep. Yep.
I left that window open in that main room open last night by mistake, and I walked into that room this morning. Like, holy shit, it's cold in here! And I looked at the thermometer, and it was like at 64. I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna close this window now. But considering the way I look at it, like one night's not they're fine. Like how many times do we ship, and it's like a little bit colder than that,
Sure.
and that's
Yeah.
if you use a heat pack because I'm not always a fan of them, and they're just fine.
Yeah.
So I probably wouldn't ship a jungle and something like that because I've had someone act up when they got a dark colored jungle because she was like cold stunned. And
Yeah.
so
Gotcha.
they did, yeah. So I'm like, but honestly, it's better to keep them a little colder and a little bit warmer. Like
I prefer shipping in colder as opposed to like
Yeah.
August. It's like 90 something. You can ship, right? No, like no, dude.
Has there been any? This is just an off topic, real quick. Has there been any people complaining about shipping now that the government shut down and it's affecting air travel and stuff?
I have not sold a single snake
No.
that needs to be shipped out
Okay.
since the government shutdown. I've been doing a lot more sales at shows, but for all I know, that could be coming to be an issue because I hear they're starting to cancel planes.
Right.
Not to mention that UPS one
Do they cancel
fell out of
those
the
planes?
sky.
Is it just commercial flying or is it?
I don't know.
That too. I guess you still need air traffic control people, regardless of what is on the plane, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Jesus.
I don't know. I don't know. I was just thinking.
Anyway,
about
I'll be at the Oaks show in November, and I'll be at the Hamburg show, and I'll throw it to you if you want it to fly. Like I'll just
yeah.
there you go, short little flight, but yeah.
Have you, really quick, have
Yeah.
you noticed that, you've been selling more at shows. You haven't had anyone like bugging you like a morph market? Like where you feel like the traffic
I
gets a
haven't
little quiet?
changed up my morph market, and that's just because
Okay.
I'm lazy, but also I don't
Okay.
have that. I had a really light year this year, so
Okay.
I have a couple of false water cobras, some blue beauties, and then I have some albino and caramel het stuff. But then that's about it. Like I don't really have anything too much. I struck out on everything else. I have some Madagascar hognose, but I don't even have that many of them because they've been selling. So I haven't really
Okay.
had the need. It's like back a couple of years ago, I never listed rhinos because they sold before I ever actually had to take photos and put rhinos on Morph Market. I have one female rhino left from. Actually, I think it's the one that it's related to that one. So, but yeah, I did struck out on rhinos this year and all that other stuff. So I've just been kind of keeping it slow. Next year, I'm hoping that I rip the cover off the ball python wise, and then I'm just drowning in baby snakes again and have to go to Morph Market and all that crap. So,
Okay.
yeah.
What did
Oh,
you just say about ball pythons? What
No,
did I?
no. I said rip the cover off the ball of pythons. It is an expression. I'm not breeding
Okay.
ball pythons,
no,
sir.
I had it.
I
I heard it. I'm like, no, wait, no, wait, that's not what he said. Okay.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. I've
You heard
shifted.
it
I've
too. All
decided
right.
all
Oh no,
scaleless,
I thought like, well, wait, no, that's not. It sounded like, but I was like, no, wait, that's not what he
Yeah.
said.
all scaleless ball pythons. You
I don't.
believe me,
I
they're
don't
the
know
way
with
to
you
go.
anymore, man. I
Yeah.
don't know with you anymore.
Not that
No,
good.
I have a trio of Hispaniola or Dominican red mountain boas, if people want to call them that, and I thought they would have moved. I'm like, huh, interesting. I had people asking. I had someone like, like a low ball. No, like, but yeah, but the carpet stuff that hasn't moved, like, I don't care. But I'm just
Yeah.
like, huh. If I was using those as a barometer, like, I wonder what's happening with that. But it was just interest. Like, I'm like, if they end up staying, they end up staying. I don't care at this point. So.
Stuff like Dominicans where it's like people are like, I need this and I need it now. And then you're like, I don't have it right now, or something like that. And then they just disappear into the ether. And either you somehow have the animals available when they become hot, and then people just clear them all out, or you're just like, I'm working on it. Like I've been trying to get litters of Dominican boas for the last like 2-3 years when they've been like pretty, like I sold my original litters for like $100 a baby, and now they are much more than that because I don't know. So, and now I'm like, will you three just get your act together? And I'm like, there are no babies. What's going to happen, because this is how the universe likes to destroy Owen McIntyre, is when the price of Dominicans plummet and they're like $50 a piece and
That's
no
when
one
you're gonna
cares,
breed them.
that's when my two girls will give me 20 babies each. And then I'll be like, great, I'm glad this happened. So,
Right.
furthering my hatred of the Dominican red mountain boa. So,
Puerto Ricans, like, apparently they can throw like 32, I believe. Like
Shit.
Eric is specifically like, I don't want to pair the Puerto Ricans. I'm like,
please
okay.
don't do that.
So no, because I actually have a pair from him, and it's like their attitudes are awful, but they're some of my favorites. But
How big are those babies? Because
Rob.
we saw the Cuban boas at
Oh, yeah.
Replandia, and they were massive animals. And then just seeing photos of Ari with the babies, like that's a big baby. Like that is a huge baby.
no, Puerto Rican boas, as Neil's, they take like fuzzies. Well, not
Okay.
fuzzies. Something small like large pinks or like a nose, because that's really what they want to eat.
Okay.
But I feel like no, because people do carpet. Some people do carpets with start carpets with fuzzy. So they start
Mhm.
off with like either a small fuzzy or a large pinky. It depends
Okay.
once they're actually on it. But they're small and they grow slowly. So
Okay.
they should. If one's growing quickly, then there's something wrong.
Okay.
But it's probably gonna not live very long. But yeah, those guys are slow growers. Cubans I would like, but they're too big for that. And I believe
Hmm.
Eric just moved one of his guys into like a larger cage, and she's like taking a swing at him. Like, maybe not.
Yep.
So
Yeah, Rob swears that Puerto Rican boas are the equivalent of a coastal carpet python, and he
I agree.
swears that if I had those, I would love them. Because
I
I'm
mean,
like attracted to the Jamaican boas because of the look, right? It's like, oh my god, they're so big. He's like, no. You want a Puerto Rican boa?
Does Rob have the Puerto Ricans, or is he just like, is Rob just trying to get you to take Puerto Ricans away from him? Is this the
Oh, Rob
point?
has Puerto Rican. No.
he has Puerto Rican.
Rob,
He
I
is-
got babies from him.
Yeah. Rob
He
just
gifted me some.
Rob's just
I
trying to
messed
sell
up
you
with-
on Puerto Rican boas is what he's trying to do. He's like, oh,
they're
you
not
want
for
I've had-
sale
like,
though.
like, oh yeah,
No,
I know.
I've had people asking about that. I'm like, because apparently they were like downgraded from CITES 1 to CITES 2, but they're still
Oh.
on the Endangered Species Act, so it doesn't really matter because you still can't sell them.
Okay.
So it's one of those jammies. But I did have some people asking me about like Puerto Rican boas. I'm like, no. Like long time off, and before I even consider that, like I want to secure a good source of feeders in the event like the no juice doesn't work. Because I did, unfortunately, I did lose the babies from Rob, and I think it was a bad batch of feeders that I had gotten. It happens. These were
Sure.
wild caught, and no one knows what they had, so it happens. So just like learning from that mistake and like, okay, what can I do to mitigate this in the future? So at least I want to have like a plan A, plan B, and plan C, because it's not like I can just like, okay, here's your mousey, hope you eat it. I'll check. I mean, like, that's not gonna work with them. So
Right.
you might get one, but no, coastals they're so much easier.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
agreed. But you would like the Puerto Ricans though, I think so.
Yeah.
They stink. Like the musk is something. I'd rather them just just bite me. Don't freaking leak on me.
Yeah.
I'm really glad my Timor Pythons turned a page and stopped being the runaway and pee on everything, and now they're just the aggressive all the time hungry thing. I'm like, yes, act like this. I'm used to this. This is a python. Like,
I would rather deal with that than the leaky, like,
yes,
because with my luck, if I take it out, it's gonna end up like in the worst possible place, like right on the freaking rug. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yep, cool.
So,
yep, perfect.
yeah.
Yep.
But I do want Timors. If it's something I'm gonna outbrunt, like I wouldn't want Timors because, yeah, sure they leak, but so do the Kylobophorus, whatever.
Yeah. If you're gonna do it, at least if you're gonna have to deal with it, make sure it's worth it. And the Timor Python is worth it. So
Yeah, because either that or like super dwarfs. But no. Besides, I can get a super dwarf fix like locally, like because Joan has them. He's like 20 minutes from me, so
yeah.
if I want to go play with them, I can go mess with them and like, But no, I'll just stick to that.
Yeah.
I'll stick to the coastals for the moment. I would like to see more Timors bred before I even take that plunge. So,
Well,
my opinion.
hopefully they're on the list this year, and like I said, they've turned the corner where they're not acting timid and shy like they were. They want food, so I'm like, is this a good sign? I don't know. So I'm just throwing food at them, and we'll see.
Yeah. You guys have stopped feeding your coastals at this point, right? For the year?
Not yet.
Or are you still feeding?
Yeah,
Not
not
yet?
yet.
I'm normally normally I would, and a couple years past I would have shut down at Halloween, but like you said before, winters have been just so weird and not as harsh. I pushed everything back, so I'm gonna try to get 2 or 3 more feedings in before I shut down. So I'm gonna be shutting down probably closer to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then December is going to be the starve part, and then I'm going to start dropping temps around Christmas. So they're going to go down for January and February because those are usually the time of year here where it's like it's not the fun winter. It's not like let's all go outside and play in the snow. It is we're going to put on 18 layers because it hurts to go outside. And I want to ride that cold down.
Yes.
And then stay down, and then I'm gonna bring everybody up in February and stuff like that. So
Okay, yeah, that cold hurts. The only thing that
Yeah.
enjoys that weather around here is my dogs, and they're cold weather dogs. I'm like, oh god, but
yeah, no,
Cold
outside.
sucks.
sucks.
Terrible.
It hurts. Like it's like you're coming in, you're like, my
I can't
face
breathe in
hurts.
it. Yeah, it hurts.
And Ish and I have a little bit more protection on our faces, but it's
I know.
not that much. Like it still fucking
Yeah.
hurts. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Winters are easier. They're a little more bearable now with like winter breedings. He's like, oh, okay, you get to play, watch the snakes.
Yeah.
So like, it makes it a little more digestible. So,
Yep.
what are you gonna say?
I was I because I got sick basically all of the end of July and all of August and September, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. I felt like I kind of like
still going.
I felt like I was I missed like the whole window to feed, right? So I was like, I'm gonna experiment and I'm just gonna start it now and not get them cold. So I'm artificially keeping the room warmer at night.
Okay.
I don't know if it matters, but that's what I'm doing.
I know like Lucas on the West Coast is like, my womas are cruising. I'm like, I can't watch you. I gotta watch what's going on over here.
Yeah.
And everybody's still on. Like everybody's still hungry. Everybody still wants to and all that crazy wind we had last night actually blew the basement door open. Like the screen door was closed, but the big door was open. So I opened the basement steps and my feet are instantly cold. I'm like, what's happening? And run downstairs and all the snakes have like sucked back into their hides and underneath the panels. And I'm like, okay, close that. But we're getting closer to that kind of stuff. So hopefully you'll start seeing some reaction. But I think right now, if they're still willing to feed, I'm going to try to get a couple more in because I have a lot of first timers going this year.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm also on the fence about a couple things. Like I have 2 probably adult Savus, and then I have a trio of Juvies. And I say Juvies, they're probably
one of them I said to you.
Yeah, she's horrible.
Yeah, she was awful when she was here too.
She's terrible. She won't stop. The other 2 are like, all right, yeah, get the water, get out. She's like, over my dead body, will you come in here? And so I have to wait for her to do that Savu thing where they throw their entire body at you, catch her midair, put her in a bin, clean her cage, put her back.
Okay.
She
still does that.
Yeah, she's beautiful. But
she did that here.
I
almost dropped her. I had to catch her. I thought maybe she would have choked out as she gotten older, but apparently not. Like she's almost ended up in the dog's mouth at least once or twice, and the youngest one will absolutely like shake something up if he can get his teeth on it. So, okay.
Yeah, no, she's still here, so she's good. But that trio is growing up, and then I have two adult girls, and the male is like he's already gone through the color change. He has white eyes. He's got a lot of black. He's still, I think, on the younger side, but he's eating adult mice and probably ready for rat weanlings. And I'm like, are you going to be one of those boys that is just so overzealous that I might be able to sneak a clutch on out of you this year? Or what's going on? We'll give it a shot, you and I, and we'll see what happens. But that would be fun to get this year.
I got a question for you guys when it comes to feeding before breeding season. So something that I'm experimenting with this year is that I'm feeding small rats every 4 days to the females. What's your feeling on that?
I think that would be good if you were on the fence about a girl. Like if it was one a little bit like that. Like, I mean, I have my proven girls, which I think would probably eat a rat every 4 days. But like, breeders. Yeah, no, fuck you. Yeah. So it's like, you're fine. But yeah, I mean, I know people do that a lot with corn snakes and stuff like that too, is feed them heavy going in. And then when they come out of winter, you throw a bunch of meals at them and then you throw the male at them and they're just, there you go. Yeah. But I would say that would work.
I would do the same. I actually did that with that tiger female that I got from Owen, and because I was not actually going to breed her this year, and now I'm like, okay, maybe actually she might get a shot. So
yeah,
I'm holding off. I'm trying to be responsible about it because like I'm anticipating like if I don't move stuff, I don't like, well, why? Like so she might sit the year out. I don't know. I might get talked into pairing her. So. No, because like there's I'll be talking to pairing her. I'm sure it always happens. The partner is it's also an enabler, So it's like, oh, you can just do that. And it's like, you're supposed to talk me out of
You
this.
just
Not
stop.
taking,
You're like, yeah,
stop. Like,
I don't
don't. Like, no,
agree.
but you can just hold on to them. You're supposed to hold. They just hold on to them for a year. Like, stop making sense. Stop. Just,
You're
I don't want
not,
to do it.
He's
So,
choosing the
you're not
words
helping.
against me. Damn it.
so it's like, all right, fine. So I will see. Ask me the same question next month, and she
Yeah.
might, I might just care her.
Then we'll
Whatever.
see what's up. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I would probably do the same thing too. Who was it? She was that girl, and there was another girl who I did that too, but she still has that smallish head, so she's
Mhm.
definitely
Yes.
sitting on.
Yes.
She's not, no, not
Yeah.
until her head. Not. I know they don't always get that big blocky head, but she still looks a little. She's starting to get there, but it's not. No,
Not
she
quite.
can wait.
I
Not quite.
I've also
Especially if we're gonna do
felt
MI.
I've also felt that what the thing is that sometimes you got to put hands on the animal too, because like I was on the fence about my super caramel jag because she does not have that big blocky kind of head. And then yesterday, when all 6 feet of her came out of the cage, I'm like, yeah, all right, I guess you could probably get to go because you're definitely big enough. So
So
and
she's 6 feet and not 11 feet.
not yet.
So
No,
she-
no.
Yeah.
6 foot is where we cross the line now. I mean, the 11
Well, no,
foot
I said
coastal's over there.
I say that
So,
because everyone's like, "Oh, coasters get so big. Like they're supposed to be so big." How many times you see like, "Oh my God, that coaster's so small. How can he do that? Like that thing is skinny." Like, no, mate. Like we're not talking
no.
about Brisbane's. I was thinking
Yep.
the
Yeah.
Brisbane here are severely inbred, so they probably won't get as big as the guys in Australia. That's
No,
just
Yeah.
my theory.
they
And
don't.
and the clutch of Brisbane's I produced, I got like 5 viable eggs. Everything else was a slug, and I got 1 female and 4 boys. So
Yeah, I sent my female to Eric Hernandez. So burrito, like, he just hold on to her until because I don't want to pair sibling to sibling, and I wanted to get another Brisbane, but it's like, like I have other stuff. Like I hit that wall where you see babies like, or you see animals like, oh shoot, wait, you're older. Or like, okay, like you're okay, like you need an upgrade, like you need a bigger cage. Like,
yes,
so it's
yes,
like that whole thing. Like you realize that you have your animals that you were raising up just about ready to breed, and just I feel like it just came out of nowhere. It's like it snuck up on. Well, it snuck up on me. It's like,
yeah,
oh, okay, so
yeah.
which is
That
fine.
happened. That happened this year. Is I got a bunch of animals that are going to get to go, and then the scary part is that after this, I have a rack of grow ups that need to move into cages, and then I have another. Like I have my trio of captive white lips. They need cages at this point. Like that's going to have to happen soon, and then I have 5 gold white lips, like 5 adult gold white lips, and I'm like, uh-oh, like it's
Now what?
I don't know. I don't, if you're expecting answers, I don't have them. So
Okay.
it's it's
White lips are big snakes, man.
they
right?
can be, yeah.
Yeah, they're not small.
I mean, they're a
Huh.
python,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
I
wow.
thought they were smaller for some reason. I was always on the impression that these like
I
there's some of these island species like they're big because they're overfed.
Yes,
But
that is
Well, yeah,
100%
that
true.
could
Is
be.
that they're big because they're overfed, but they can still be a 6-foot python, but they're going to be like thinner.
They're thick,
Like they're
right?
thin body. No, they're thin
Oh,
body.
they're thin.
Yeah. So
So then
it's
the ones you had at the beginning were not.
they were never going to
They were
breed.
messed
That
up.
was
Oh,
never going to
okay.
happen.
All right. All right.
So
Because
what I
that's the ones
got
I'm thinking of. Those big
right.
fat.
Right. And that I never got any babies from them. What I got was from a skinnier female that was a wild caught, bred, and she's about 5 foot, and she was bred to a 6 foot, close to 7 foot male that is on the thinner side because he only eats birds. So
okay.
that's what it is. They're a large snake lengthwise, but they're not very thick. And these are gold white lips. And it was the bigger male breeds the smaller female. So like you almost have to get the sexual dimorphism out of your head. That's with gold face. Black face, it's a free for all. Like it's like I don't know. They just all seem to be 6 foot and angry. So
I had a large male, like, and it's like way larger than my female. Like my brain, like, check this thing, make sure it's actually a male, or I mean,
yep.
it's easier to tell if it's a, it's easier to tell if something's a male than it's a female because just because you don't get hemipenes doesn't mean this. You don't probe or you don't pop or
Yep.
whatever doesn't mean that they're not there. But
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
So
but
I'm going to give the go to my male this year, but what I'm going to do is all the Indo-Python species, when they warm up, I'm going to give the girls meals like they're normally eating medium rats. I'm going to give them like 2 large rats to give them that, to supplement
You're going
that.
the opposite way. You're
Well,
giving
I want to sell.
huge meals.
I've been kind of noticing that a lot of that Indo stuff, it's like the monsoon season comes, they gorge themselves, or birds fly to the island and they eat whatever they can. And then that's when they had the babies. And I got the clutch of white lips. The one year I ran out of medium rats and had to feed my female a large rat. And it looked like she swallowed a football and then she ovulated. So I'm like, okay. So the Timors, the Dunai, once they warm up, it's going to be big meals and then introductions. So,
okay. Huh. I wonder if there's a difference doing it small meals more all, you know what I mean? Like
small meals going in, big meal. I think it doesn't matter. I think it's just a lot of food.
It's
when
just
they
the
wake
calories,
up.
basically, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I would.
Although I think there is something to feeding a snake a larger meal.
That'll grow it.
Especially a python.
Yeah.
Because it I ordered rats and rat pups and small rats and those kind of things, right? So I'm like, I kind of like misjudged like what a rat pup size kind of like the size of it. And I'm like, oh,
oops,
shit.
That is with.
I think they could do this. Come on, guys. I think you could do it. And
that is with every animal.
I'm like, holy shit.
I had the speckled kings this year at the clutch. And the ones that didn't start eating immediately, and the ones that I had to offer some, they call them red hot pinks. They're like just born pinkies.
Yep.
Those ones are smaller than the ones that were like, I will choke down this frozen thawed pinky and they like vastly different, like almost 2 to 3 times larger than their siblings, just because they choked down the big pinkies immediately. And these guys had to start on the hot red live for 2 feedings and then 2 or 3 feedings and then start taking the smallest pinkies I can find in the bag. So getting something to grow is just give them that meal that like forces them to grow almost.
I gave that to so these were weaned rats that I gave to the Ruffy, but the one Ruffy wouldn't eat it, right? So I called up Jason Hood and ordered some button quail.
There you go.
Because that'll do it to get a couple meals in and then be able to put the weaned rat.
Perfect.
Not weaned rat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a rat pup.
Before pup.
Yeah, pup.
Yes.
Crawler. The rat.
That's it.
That's after pup.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know either. Sizes anymore. Like, it's.
But also, does it really matter? Because sometimes you get stuff, and depending on where you get it from, or depending on the time of year,
kind of all the same size, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. I've gotten medium rats that are like, holy shit, like, these are actually medium. Like, they look freaking large. And I've got some, depending on the year, and time of year, where they're more like a medium.
Yeah.
So it's like, when I feed it to a female, like, oh, okay, this is like, you can probably get a chick after that, and I'll make up for it that way. But
it's doing that thing where like you thaw out, like, because I've had to like dump entire bags of small rats and dump entire bags of medium rats to thaw out. And when you're doing that, and then like you're feeding, and the rat you pulled from the small bin or the rat you pulled from the medium bin is smaller than when you just pulled out of the small bin, you're like, did I screw this up or what's going on here? So it's like, God damn it, consistency. That's all.
Somebody's messing with me.
I've had that happen.
Yep.
More than I'd like, but whatever. Something is going to eat it.
Yes, yeah. I that's the mentality over here. Is I got somebody will eat it. It'll be fine. So.
Absolutely.
Cool. So, do you vary your diet, Ish? Because you said something about chicks.
I do vary. So my males, I do like to keep them a little on the leaner side. I don't want to fat. Like, I feel like you can get away with it, the females, to an extent, but I don't want to break a male. Like, I don't want to have that male that looks like a female. So I will actually vary that. The males here, a lot of them are actually they get more chicks. Like, they'll get some small rats here and there, but a lot of the time they're eating chicks.
Yeah.
Whether it be quail, a chick, or like actually chickens, but that's usually what I give the males. The females, if I'm not cycling, if they're just like on maintenance, like I might chuck them. If it's an adult female, I might chuck them like a drumstick here or there, or I might just chuck them like an appropriate size. With them, they'll get like the large quail. So I do feed hamsters. Frozen thought. I'm not going to Petco and like buying hamsters. Like,
That
had
one,
somebody
he
close
looks
say that.
spry. Give him
Like,
to me.
no, no,
Yeah.
no. But usually, a lot of the Cold Blooded Cafe had them on sale. So I'm like, all right, and they seem to freaking love it. And I'm convinced that those guys are just like hamsters are fueled by evil, so they're just like naturally more nutritious for the like
I
they
mean,
just freaking love them. So I do feed them that as well. Um, so I do vary it to an extent. Some of the adult males, like if they don't, if they're, if I feel like they can eat something, but I don't necessarily want to like feed them something large, like I might actually chuck them like an extra large mouse here and there, and they're fine with it. So
Mhm.
it really
yeah,
depends. I might give them because I will not feed them at all during the winter. So depending if it's a smaller male, I might just give them like I might just like feed them a small rat, just call it a day.
hmm
An actual small rat, like a not like a itty bitty small rat. And that's usually and they're fine with that. But I usually just err on the side, just like keeping them a little on the thin side. Because if I can give them, if I need to give them an extra meal, okay, fine. But you can't really take away,
yeah.
like
It's harder to thin them out than to add weight. And I find if you feed them small rats, and then every once in a while you got to chuck them a medium or a bird or whatever, that's fine. And I will say the supplementing with chicks, or like in
Yeah.
my case, chicken wings or chicken drumsticks or whatever,
Drumsticks.
fish, whatever the fuck else I have going on here.
I fudged up. I fed my guys fish once, and I will never do that again.
I will never feed. I fed my adult coastal a trout because I had one, and I was giving him to the false water cobra, and my dumbass didn't think about like just chopping it up and giving it to the false water cobra. I was like, it's too big for them. They must eat whole prey. Like, dumbass, like they will eat anything, but just make it small enough. So I gave it to her, and I thawed it out the exact way Mike Curtin told me to thaw it out, in a bag in the warm water. She bit it, wrapped it, and it exploded. Like,
Oh.
she had the head of a fish, and then it was like a cartoon like bone, like it was nothing, and then the tail, because it was all
Oh,
over the cage roof, her, the paper, me, the ceiling. Like it was just erupted, and I'm like, good, this is good. Like, it's
That
something
is
like
not
that.
good.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
why I
yeah,
won't do it.
don't do that. I watch people now who have like tongs and a fillet of fish, and then like, oh, you see, that's better. Like that worked better.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh,
Yeah, I'll do
man.
that.
don't thank you. No, I would not recommend it. So
Oh, yeah. Cool.
but yeah, so I didn't know if there was anything else you wanted to hit on real quick, or if you
I
had
thought you would ask me about diamonds for some reason
You're
earlier
right,
on.
let's do that. So let's ask
What's-
about diamonds. What do
what's
you
you-
have?
So right now I'm working with pure with an asterisk because I have a pair with Cypress Creek, but whatever. Just for the sake of because I do have a 75% diamond from Tony Hurt.
Okay.
So and yeah, so and it, she's not going anywhere. Just it's Tony's, and so like, she stays. So I am pairing a pair. So the female is actually from Andy Watson.
Okay.
She's San Diego Zoo, Riverbank Zoo, and Cypress Creek. And then the male that I'm pairing with her is actually Buddy Buscemi production, but I got him through a trade with Gerard Bosch. That's
Oh,
when he wanted top ones. I wanted them outs, so I gave him a pair of the Game of Granite, hat granite, and I got a sketchy diamond who got his act together finally. When
nice.
I say he was spotty feeder, like he was
Yeah.
fussy, but
Yeah.
not even that. He was just very twitchy, just a very nervous animal.
Yeah.
So he, see, it's weird. He actually came. I'm actually getting him now. He did a total 180. He's eating
Mhm.
rodents. He's eating with gusto. I'm like, okay, cool. Now you're big enough where I don't worry about the female crushing you or worse.
Right.
So
Right.
um, I'm in a hoodie right now because this room is a little colder. I'm in my home office. Basically, I'm just gonna. It seems weird. I feel like should I be? I feel like I should be pairing them now, but I'm not gonna do that.
Mhm.
Right.
It seems like I'm almost doing the reverse, where I'm just like feeding, killing,
Yeah, it's weird,
one
right?
gun. It's like
Yeah.
it feels weird. I'm like, the hell?
It'll be
But
weirder when because I know with my spring breeders, I would go into autopilot because it's wintertime. All the snakes are going to shut down, and I could just go in and get the bowls. And then the bredli female would like bite me across the neck because I'm not paying attention. And she's never turned off of food at 30 degrees. So yeah.
Oh yeah, she's
My
ready to
friend is
go.
better with that. She's the female she was like that for a while, but she's chilled out a lot. Like now, I'm not gonna go mess with her, but she seems to know like if I'm on the opposite side of the cage messing with a water ball, she's not really gonna go for it. I don't leave my hand in there long enough to find out though. So the males are fine. The other males from Dave Kelly, he was actually gonna be a replacement for the other male because I didn't scratch him out the project, but I was like, well, he'll mature eventually. But I thought I was thinking under the impression that the male from Kelly, David Kelly, would actually be ready to go before that guy, just with every headache he was giving me. But he proved me wrong. So so he's actually they'll be paired this year. It's just what I'm doing is I actually have their cages up by the window. It's just like rode by the window. I have a Gobi thermometer there, and I watch that. It's also really freaking weird seeing them out at like 55 degrees and just like being out on the perch.
themselves.
Like, nothing. Like, what the hell? Because if the other room gets cold, like everyone's away. These guys are out. So I'm like, even the 75%er from Tony Hurt is out, and she's just sitting on the top of the bank of cages, and she seems to be doing just fine. So, but that's my plan. I might try the inlands. I don't think they'll go, but I'm suspicious. I think the male, he's 3. I feel like he might need another year, but the female is definitely ready to go. But I might just give them a shot to see what happens. It's the male. It's not like it's the female that's I'm on the fence about. So if he figures it out, he figures it out. If not, then that's great too. But once I know that if I'm in the room and I need a hoodie, that I know the room is perfect enough for them.
Yeah.
So
are you going to keep the pairs together throughout the season, or what?
I'm not. I thought about that. I think I'm just gonna keep them separate for now. So I feel like if I pair them, I don't want those. Sometimes they'll like lock up early. I feel like, and then
that's what I was going to say.
Then nothing happens. I'm like, no. Like save that for the springtime. Like save that
when it counts. Yeah.
The first year I tried to breed diamonds. That's what I had. I put them together I wasn't planning on breeding them yet, but I just wanted them to cohab through the cool down. And sure enough, they were locked up like right away.
I always got locks from bredli in like January and December, and it was meaningless. If you counted when you finally got eggs in like July, it didn't make any damn sense. So I just stopped doing it because it just
that's another reason I want to pair my coastals later in the year.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
That being said, I would always get one pair. I would always have one pair that like eggs would be on the ground in April. And I'm like, okay, but like I push it back. You know, there's nothing wrong with May, June eggs. Like it's plenty.
Depends on if there's a carpet fest, Owen.
Correct. Good point. That is an excellent point, which there will be.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yep.
I want to go to Texas Carpet Fest next year if I can actually make it out there. It seems like it.
You would dig that
I keep hearing about Reptilandia, and then I hear about the 2-story, the enclosure, being able to see it from the ground level, then from the second floor. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So you've been to my house.
Yep.
Think about sitting in the yard, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Think about that fence that's down along the thing, right?
Yep.
Okay.
The cage was as long as that fence.
The fence. And it had 2
as
croc
the
monitors
size of
in
that
it.
fence. And it was 3 stories high or 2 stories high?
2 stories high. Yeah, it was 2 stories high. 2 stories high.
The croc monitors must have looked tiny in that thing.
Yes, it was like it was like croc lizards.
It was. I was like, is that a
lizard the size of Eric? And it's just like
is that a Kimberly Rock monitor? Is that an Ackie? What's going on there?
Yeah,
that's what it was like.
Amazing. So
definitely worth the trip for sure.
Yep, definitely worth it.
I can squeeze in a Texas trip. So it'll be easy.
I'm thinking what we should do next year is we should coordinate and we should all go in on those little mini houses.
Oh, we should rent the whole thing. We rented this place called Tiny Island, and it's like these little
in a tiny house, and it was in this
mini
cul-de-sac. I'm
homes.
like,
still attacked. I'm short, and it's like tiny house. Like
yeah. I'm like, we should just all just rent the tiny houses and have a carpet cul-de-sac thingy going on.
Yeah. Oh,
like New York City apartments, but that's a different story.
pretty much. I think
like I'm from there, and it's like, all right, cool. And when I moved to Jersey, I got a bunch of shit from everyone. Like, why'd you do that? Like, because I have more space, and also I can't have this connection in New York City. Not that people don't, that
that doesn't happen. Yeah.
Yes. So, whatever.
Those are my favorite. Where it's like, I'm like, you're in PA. I'm like, I am. I'm gonna have a retic shipped to you so I can come get it. You live in the Bronx. Like, I don't know why. Like, why are you telling me this? Don't do this. Like, it's
you're gonna do it.
Going on.
Yeah.
Right.
There was really quick. There was actually I'm on this. Basically, I follow this group called Subway Creatures. It's always like weird things that people do on New York City subways. So, basically, one of the things was someone had a freaking retic, a mainline retic. It was in the baby stroller, but it's like kind of like someone must have opened up the zipper and it's like cruising halfway out. But the funnier part about it is that like some people were actually horrified of it, and some people just like whatever. But considering that we had someone with a freaking tiger in Harlem. Like it's very underwhelming. So
was that the one where he had it at the window and there were
and the cops had to
had the window, that was
the cops were like, I don't know what to do. Like it was just that's one of my favorites, as almost as good as in Philly. I was set up at a show and these guys bought a male alligator, adult male alligator, and they had it at a table next to me. And they were carrying around like it was the Ark of the Covenant. They had like poles through the cage so they could pick it up. And they're like, we just bought him. We're going to bring him back to our house. We have a row home in Philly. We jackhammered the foundation to make a pond. And I'm like,
oh no.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah,
like,
that sounds like Philly.
Are you allowed to do that? And then like a week later, the house was getting raided and they were pulling adult gators out of this house. And the whole row. Yes, and the whole row was condemned because they destroyed the foundation of the house to make a pond for alligators.
This is why I don't do fish tanks that are over a certain size. I've done this for a very long time. Back in when people were starting out with carpet pythons, I was too busy with angelfish and like had no life because of college. But it's the freaking same. Like water is heavy. I will not. I'm on the top floor, and the biggest tank I have is a 29-gallon. That's all I want. And part of me wants that out, but fish tanks are pretty to look at. But the disaster aspect of it, if something goes sideways, it's
Those are always my favorite things. Where the dude's like lifting weights next to his like pristine saltwater aquarium, and he's like, yeah, kink, and then like it just starts gushing water and it's just like, oh shit, like no, I'm not about to have that fun happen
or fall.
No, I've had a tank failure.
Yes,
I've had a tank failure with a guitar that fell off a wall that belongs to my brother when I was like 16, and it was a 20-gallon, and you just hear something fall off the wall and you hear glass breaking and you hear water pouring out. I'm like,
oh no.
That's okay. The living room rug soaked up most of that water, but
and then you think about it, and it's a 29-gallon, which doesn't sound like that much, but when you think about 29 gallons of milk,
29 gallons of water on the floor,
that's a lot.
It's different when it's in a tank as opposed to somebody put
that's what I'm
29
saying.
gallons.
You're looking at a box, you're like, no, that's not a lot of water. And then it's on your floor, and you're like, that's a lot of water.
But there's a wet vac to deal with that, just in case like that ever happens. It's like But no, that's just
no.
That's insane. Once you started mentioning the foundation, like somebody was trying to build a pond.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. Yep. People do weird things with animals. It's just kind of a thing, but
yes, they do.
But that'll be fun. Hopefully you get It's gonna be weird if you're gonna get like coastals, inlands, and diamonds all in like 1 year. That's
I hope not. I'm not quite. I'm expecting to have a run for my money with the diamonds. If I do get eggs, I will let her maternally incubate them if she's showing the right, if Genova's showing the right behaviors. Why am I going to do the work for her when she can do it for me? It's so much easier that way. But yeah, the inlands, we'll see what happens. If it happens, cool. If not, then that's okay too. But otherwise, I'm really just focusing on that red pair. The tiger stuff, maybe the tiger pair. Yeah, sure, why not? Some people I've had people ask me for non-red stuff, which is almost sounds like an oxymoron, but
it's weird. Like
whatever.
why go to the red guy for the non-red stuff? But
Right.
I mean, I do feel like there have definitely been a lot more. I don't know if it's just because I'm clinging to the past of the diamonds were the rarity and not many people produce them. There seems to be a lot of people dipping their toe into the diamond pool and having success with that. There definitely seems to be a lot more diamonds available and around than there used to be. Which
I don't think they're difficult.
no.
I just think they're different. Yeah.
I think people just reach the they're not like typical pythons. I think my very limited experience with these guys, like as long as you just don't just get it out your head that they have to be kept warm constantly and just treat them more, I guess, treat them more like a colubrid in a sense,
Yeah.
then they're probably better. Because I only give my guys about like 10 hours of heat,
Yeah.
and that's that. And honestly, I just noticed that they warm up quickly and they just disappear. Maybe they'll hang out a little while, but
Are you
not
doing
until
heat?
like, they get cold.
Are you doing heat panel or heat pad or heat or light
Heat,
or what?
no, heat panel. So I am a little pyrophobic. So I work at an animal hospital, animal clinic that actually burned down in the I'm sorry, like 2008, 2009.
Jesus.
So I'm like, yeah. So nothing, no, it happened on a Sunday, so everyone was fine. The hospital cat got treated for smoke inhalation. So that whole thing with the lights, I'm like, it's gonna get dry. I can't really stack the cage the way I want to. I know you can get like spaces stuff like that, but after poking Martin Roseman's brain about that, because I know he does heat panels, he was just like, well, as long as they're getting cold at night, as long as they're not, as long as your panel's not overheating, like they're not sitting under there like the entire day and they're able to get cold, it's fine. And
Okay.
I fortunately, knock on wood, these guys, it's been out, and I just realized that the smaller panels work well. With these guys, I just have like, I guess it's flagstone under the hotspot, and they'll sit on that and it'll warm up and that way the heat panel's not running longer than it needs to, and then that's that. Then it just like ramps up, ramps down. It's like, what is it, 6 o'clock and 4 p.m. it turns off, and
Yep.
then I'm just waiting for them for the rest of the night. And right now I can get them to like 59 if it's like cold right now, but I'm gonna just let it swing and just like see how cold I can, because I can get this cold. I can get this room to about 50, 51 in the middle of the
Mhm.
winter. So if I
Okay.
just leave everything open, it sucks in the morning when I walk in here because I'm freaking freezing. But
Yeah.
whatever, it's fine for them. I can put on a hoodie. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right on.
I have plans, so I will get my diamonds and give them that crack. So
Very cool. All right. Well, I guess we will. I don't know.
we'll call it there. I get there. We
yeah,
got
sure.
getting close to 2 hours. So I
Yeah.
guess Ish, is there a way that people can follow you, check out your stuff, bug you about various animals of the coastal variety?
Ish Quinones on Facebook. Ish Quinones. Just sometimes people message me. I may not see it right away because
Mhm.
it tends to like sit in like under message request. Instagram's a little quicker. IQ Exotics. Um, I don't know why I have threads, but don't contact me on that. I'm never gonna see anything on that. So, but yeah, just Instagram and Facebook. IQ Exotics on Facebook. I usually get those messages. Sometimes there's been like one or two of them that like slip through the cracks, but if I don't respond right away, just bear with me. Sometimes at work I can't respond for hours at a time, and then I'll knock out. If you messaging me at like 10 o'clock, good luck with that. Like I'll message you at 5 in the morning. So
Amen.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
there you go. So, all right. So definitely check that out. Eric, do we have things to say or stuff?
Well, just our usual stuff. Subscribe to the show. If you want to contact us, MoreliaPic@gmail.com. Check out our merch store. We're about to get the Discord back going. Got some things working there. I got to get with Lucas. What else? I think that's it.
Cool. Like I said before, I'll be at the Oak Show in November. I believe this is the 22nd, and the last Hamburg show of the year, which is December 6th. Getting all that stuff going. And then if you haven't followed me on Instagram and stuff like that, do that, because I'm starting to throw up pictures of the girls that I will be breeding this year, possibly some of the males. And then I'll do a full like pictures of all the pairings at some point, because it's what I used to do and I stopped that. And I think I want to do that again. So,
Yeah, wow.
get that going. But thanks, Ish, for coming by and again beating the back
Coastal carpet.
beating back the IJs back a little bit longer so we can bring the coastals back up to the top. And that's all we got for everybody today. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch everybody back here next time for some more Morelia Python Radio. Good night.